Good morning. So this is what we camped up for. Sunday River. Doesn't look too bad, to be fair. I say that now. I am slightly terrified, but Brian's going over on the logs, or is trying to go over on the logs. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Okay.
They're rock solid, them two. And so is this one. I sort of 1 foot on there, 1 foot on there. You're not happy? You want me to come for your backpack? Huh? I'm quite happy doing it again. Okay, this is where the video stops. She got across, thank God.
You don't want to know how. No, we swapped poles, Brian and I, because the tips of his poles have gone completely. And I could walk with these quite fine, and this is the first time it mattered because I couldn't get any grip on the logs. So that's why I froze, because I thought, shit, I haven't got my 4 points or my 3 points of contact. I ended up shoveling across those logs, but yeah, it's silly. I mean, it's really is not a bad crossing. I probably would have been happier going across rocks, but yeah.
Let's get across safely, okay?
Yeah. So, having made it over the river, turns out to be only part of the problem, because we have no idea where we're supposed to be going. Don't go, if there's no path there, then don't go. I'll have a look what the other direction does. I mean, we think we've crossed it sort of at the right point. There's footsteps everywhere, so they're no help. Hans is appearing down there. I've got a bit of a trail going up here, but none of that seems to be going anywhere. Okay, Brian thinks he might have found the actual trail. Oh yeah, there's a huge, great big cairn right there in the trees. Okay. Yeah, this might be a little bit more pathy than where we were. So we were on the wrong side of these trees there. If you're that close to the hills, to the uphill again, then you're wrong. Having climbed up from Sunday River, we are now at the turn of Toromona Falls, which it would be rude not to have a look at.
Yeah.
Now there is the site. Oh, sorry. There is the site.
No, I am the site.
You certainly are a site.
It's a beautiful site.
Well, let's focus on the waterfall for a bit, shall we?
A beautiful fall. Just off the PCT, I think it's just on half a mile. And there's the beautiful Heidi. Wave, Heidi! Well, it's worth a little detour.
So when you're at Ramona Falls, or if you visit Ramona Falls, you can choose to just walk an alternate trail, which pretty much runs parallel to the PCT, and it comes out here. We decided to regain the PCT and carry on, but... Oh! PCT!
Over there as well.
Yeah, in big letters. I mean, there's a big sign, but, you know, for those that didn't turn around.
I'm just doing another stream crossing. We didn't get told about this one. Thing sticks away and like hobble across.
Gets a bit narrow in the middle, which is why, yeah, that's kind of how I went across as well.
Kids watching the Green Cross Road.
Yeah. Don't cross a lock without checking left or right first.
Make sure there's no traffic. A tree hugging another tree to save it from dying. It's true love. It's like a fairy tale.
This is what we're talking about. What the hell?
You never heard of fairy tales before. True love.
This is bizarre. There's absolutely nothing at the bottom of this tree. Huh. Honestly.
Yeah. Look, someone's cut it. You see the mark?
Yeah, they cut it, but how is it still there? According to that man there, we have just completed the first 1,000 foot of the climb.
Today? In 36 minutes.
In 36 minutes. Not bad going.
No, for oldies.
It is very steep. I know it doesn't look steep right now because I've obviously picked a bit where I can actually breathe on to film and speak. This is one of the shallower bits. But yeah. So much for flat Oregon, eh? We found ourselves a sunny spot. It's got a bit of a view. A bit boring like, but you know, we'll have to take it. Breakfast time, but we should actually be spreading the tent out. We haven't done that yet.
Oh, dear. Lazy husband time.
That's a look. Give us the tent, I spread it. Just gone past Lola Pass, which means we're starting the second large-ish climb of the day. 1,200 foot, but over 6 miles, so hopefully nothing too drastic. And then we're done with the uphills for a bit. Or at least the continuous uphills. There's always an uphill everywhere. Oh, yellow raspberries. Huh. Did you eat one?
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to Mike. Give us a head up about these huckleberries. It could be in a while. Pasty, this is what you were talking about when you were in Cumbria.
Yep.
With your friend. You never got to see them. There they are.
Or taste them.
Yeah. I shall taste them for you. They're very nice.
It's about an hour from camp spot time. We sort of have a place in mind, but if we don't get there, then we'll just start looking for the next flat spot. Oh, look. Looks like a cow. We've done enough to set us up to get into Cascade Locks tomorrow, so was the main aim. Mount Hood is getting a new hood. Is that Mount Hood? That's not Mount Hood, is it? This, if all goes well, will be the last pitch of this tent. Because sadly, it's knackered. Our campsite paid off because we got to Sandy River, obviously inside a minute. And yeah, well, you all saw me panicking again. It's just, this was not a difficult crossing. The logs that were there were relatively stable. I just panic. As soon as I hear rushing water, I panic now. As long as I see rushing water, I panic. I need to get over this somehow, but yeah, we got across eventually. It took much longer than it should have done because I just, yeah, never mind. The difficult bit then was afterwards to actually figure out where in all this rumble of stones the trail went, but we did find it eventually. Went to the crossing to the trail junction here. Decided to go down to Ramona Falls because you really should see that. It's very, very pretty and it's not a long detour. Now you could walk the Ramona Falls alternate instead then to get back to the PCT. But we decided to just backtrack and carry on the actual PCT. There's nothing in it. I mean, they're literally the same length, both trails, so this, you know, whatever takes your fancy. We got to, I think it was Muddy Fork River was the other trail, was not that the 2-log crossing that we didn't realize was gonna come up, but that was easy. That stuff I can do all day long because I'm not looking at the water while I'm doing it, and I've got something to hold on to, so yeah. And then we started to climb quite significantly. There was a lot of climbing in this day today. I think somewhere here it flattens out then for a bit and then drops us down to Lolo Pass, after which the next climb starts. Up the other side of the entire area is called the Bull Run Lake. You never Bull Run sort of reservoir. You never actually see this lake, but yeah. Just carried on. Not much to say. It's again, it was one of those up and downy sections, mostly in forest. It's not. There's nothing that you know sticks out really, where you can say, oh yeah, this is that point, this is that point. We just carried on hiking until page 8. No, definitely not. The Buck Peak Spring. We filled up with water. And then it's a slowish descent again. It flattens out very quickly. We were going to head for Indian Springs Campground here. That was the original plan. But here, where we crossed the road 660, and we saw those flat camp spots, the light, well, it's difficult when you're walking in these dense woods in Oregon. It is towards the evening. It is very difficult to judge how long you're gonna have light for, because obviously the light in the forest isn't there to start with. so we just decided to call it quits 2 miles earlier, because we thought we're in a good position to get into Cascade Locks anyway. You know, the 2 miles didn't make that much difference. And we didn't want a chance stumbling into a campground in the dark.
Hi.
Hey. End of week 23.
And we're going to talk about rangers.
And restrictions.
And their job.
Just basically because once you've crossed, once you've gone through the Sierra, you will not see another ranger in all likelihood until Oregon. Their they come back.
The thing with rangers, all the ones we met, even some that people sort of didn't like, they were all professional and polite.
Yep,
You
absolutely.
weren't, some of them weren't your best friends, some were, but they were all professional and polite.
And just doing the jobs, quite frankly.
Because we all sign up for the restrictions anyway, don't do this, do this. People were moaning because the rangers were asking if you had a kit for the toilet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
whether you brought a
pack
trowel
it
or
out
something.
and stuff like that.
And it's like, well, the answer should be, obviously, if you're on a trail like this, yeah, of course you have. And then you move on. Some people took real offense, or it seemed like they took real offense at the fact that they were being asked, but it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, especially in Oregon. Oregon is busy. Busy with day hikers, section hikers, weekend hikers, PCT hikers, you name it. So the rangers are there to protect the land from overuse and abuse. So they will check everybody. They're not going to look at you and say, oh, you look like a through hiker, therefore you must be okay. Why? Why would we be okay?
And
We're just as capable of being.
a lot of people were slagging them off, saying, oh, they don't want to feel. But I say 80% of the rangers we met were ex-through hikers of the PCT.
Yep, absolutely. So
They've been there, they've done it, got the t-shirt.
So all this kind of, oh, they don't know what it's like to be a through hiker. Yeah, they do, actually, because guess what? I mean, who becomes a ranger? Somebody who likes the outdoors and hiking, so they probably know what they're talking about. And it's the same with the restrictions. I mean, Oregon has a number of limited entry, restricted camping zones, blah, 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 blah. And I know it's going to get worse, if you want to use the word worse. It's going to get more restricted even going forward into 2020 and beyond. Because, as I said before, Oregon is busy and the land needs protecting because it's being loved to death. We're all trying our very best to stick to the rules while we're there, but there's just so many of us now. So the areas that are restricted, it's like that little camping area where we ended up having to walk into the night to get out of the restricted zone and the obsidian thing. I mean, they're like, 2-3 mile stretches. Just plan your hike accordingly. It's really not the end of the world that you can't camp at that lake. You just walk another 2 miles and you'll camp at the next one. Guess what? It's out of the restricted area. Or the Jefferson Park area, which is everywhere now restricted for camping. Well, you just walk out of it and set up your tent there. It really is not a big problem.
We're nothing special.
No.
We're just walkers.
Yeah.
People who think that they're special because they're hiking the PCT or through hiking, you're just walking.
Yeah.
Anyone can walk.
You have exactly as much right to enjoy that area
As the day hiker.
As the day hikers and the section hikers and the weekend hikers and the dog walkers and the rangers, quite frankly. But that's just our 5 cents worth on rangers. Just basically, just show them some respect. I don't mean, authority. Like, just accept
They're
the
just
fact
normal people.
they are doing their job. And if they're not asking you something that's completely outside of their remit, just show them your permit, show them your bear can, show them your trowel if they want to see it, and move on. It takes 5 minutes out of your life to, indulge a ranger, if you want to use that word. And it takes about 25 minutes to argue the toss with a ranger. They're not out to get you, they're not out to catch you out or whatever. You should be sticking to all the rules they're checking you're sticking to anyway, because you have signed up, when you signed your permit, you signed up that you've read and understood the leave no trace principles. And they're the same all across the trail. So, no surprises really.
No.
More surprising is money. We have managed another week with hardly any money spent. The only reason why there is any kind of expenses really is because of what happened to him here at Olali Lake, and we ended up having to book accommodation. That was $70 for that little hut. And then of course we indulged in Timberline Lodge with food and stuff. So we have a bill of $94.06 for town food. And a $20 bill for picking up the parcels, because we had 2 parcels sent to Timberline Lodge.
Yeah, where it's $10
and it's
a parcel.
$10 a parcel to pick them up from there. Kennedy Meadows? No, Government Camp, sorry. Government Camp is a little village not far off the trail that is very easy to hitch to, apparently. They have postal arrangements that are free. So we didn't know that and didn't fancy the detour, but if you think that $10 a parcel is too steep for you to pick it up at Timberline Lodge, then just go to Government Camp and pick it up there. Problem solved. So that means we've spent this week $184.06. We're doing well. But yeah, the end of Oregon is coming next and the beginning of Washington, so money will go up because we will have to buy quite a bit of gear.
Yeah.
Again.